Hi, I'm Peggy with Headshots by Peggy, and today I'm here with Patrick Jerome, and we are going to have an amazing conversation. Patrick, I really, first of all, appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out with me because you don't live in LA, you live in Boston, and you flew all the way out here just to hang out with me, right?
Yes. That's the best way to put it, you know. A long flight to come hang out with Peggy.
Exactly. You know, it's so worth it.
I'm feeling honored to be here. Thanks for having me.
No, I really do appreciate you coming out here. But you're actually in LA for the month because you have an amazing project that just opened. And you had the world premiere at the Chinese Theater.
Yes.
So kind of a big deal.
Yes, my movie Assassin Behind the Glass, we did that, have the world premiere there, where many of us came here in Hollywood and, you know, have all the actors on the red carpet and, you know, the Chinese Theater, Hollywood premiere. That was amazing.
That's
you know.
Cool.
It was my lawyer who kind of set it up and helped us throughout the process. It was my third movie that I presented here, that I opened here in Hollywood. But Chinese Theater, you know, it's special. You know, that's where, you know, it's all, you know, started with so many great, you know, people who have, you know, made it so far in this industry, and having the opportunity to just to do that, it's just amazing.
So you grew up in Haiti. And now you're here in America, you know, super successful filmmaker, writer, geez, you composer, you're like, you got your hand in a bunch of things.
Yes, I've done a lot of things.
How did that kind of progress? How did you end up here and so successful?
Well, I mean, you know, coming from Haiti, I made my first feature film in Haiti, which was Réseau Sans Pitié, you know, in Haitian Creole, but in English it's Ruthless Gang, which is available right now on Amazon Prime if people want to check it out.
I'll put the link down in the description.
Yes, Ruthless Gang. It's a movie about gang violence in Haiti. And when I was a teenager there, I kind of experienced what was going on in society. And as I like writing stories about true events, so I ended up writing a story about the gang violence that we had in Haiti at that time. And I made the film, and we had the world premiere of the movie, which got me in trouble. So I had to leave the country because I made the movie to come to the United States. And then since, you know, I find my way, you know, to come back to the movie you know, industry here, and I've been working since. But it's all started with my first feature film, Ruthless Gang in Haiti.
And that was about 30 years ago?
Yes, that was about that.
So, but that movie is still very relevant. I mean, there's like super big issues right now going on today around gang violence.
Oh yeah, definitely. In Haiti right now, we have so many political unrest going on. You know, the people are not happy with the direction of, you know, where the country is going. You know, on all levels. So the level of poverty, and people are, you know, they want changes. And this is exactly when we made the film. That inspired us, because we felt like this is a society that was going downhill, and then if they don't do anything about it, it will get worse and worse and worse. And unfortunately, you know, it breaks my heart to see the news that are coming from Haiti, you know, to see how, you know, the misery. I mean, the people are living in such a poverty, and the gang violence intensify. I mean, if you're watching my movie Ruthless Gang, you see those guys, those young guys who ended up, you know, adopting violence to survive. You know, and then in the movie we express it. It says we need to create jobs, we need to create opportunities, we need to give the youth something to do so they don't get there. And then today, this is what's going on. I mean, it's heartbreaking. You know, it's heartbreaking. But I'm glad that I did it. You know, it's part of our history. You know, it's part of our, you know, artistic expression. You know, as Haitian. You know, being a filmmaker myself. You know, and so that was it. And then I came to the United States after I made the film. I had to leave Haiti, come to the United States, and then make my first feature film, Deportation, here, and which we premiere here in LA actually back in 2000 at the Los Angeles International.
Another subject that's still super relevant today.
Yes, Deportation. I know.
It's like we're standing still. I don't know.
Exactly. So that's another thing. So when I came here, I find out about the situation here with people, who are getting deported, and I find out how inhuman it is because
Right.
I came to this country with political asylum. How can I get deported back to a place where I run away from, to save my life, and then you come across that situation, it just sparked something in me, and I came across so many different stories, and I said, oh, I picked that story. I'm going to make a movie about it, Deportation.
Yeah.
So that's another,
And how
story.
can people watch that?
It is also
It's on
available on
Amazon
Amazon Prime. As soon as
I'll put
people
all the
ca-
links.
Yeah, as soon
in
as
the
people put,
description.
Deportation, they should
Uh-huh.
be able to find it. And then since I've been making movies year after year, now I'm up to about 25 films
Wow.
in the industry. So it's been really a long, journey. And, I really enjoy doing everything, from writing, script writing, directing, editing.
So I always encourage my viewers, if maybe you think you want to be an actor, maybe you think you want to be, whatever it is, like get your hand in everything, that way when you're directing, you understand from the other people's point of view, you understand what the editor's like. This last project you edited, you did the whole
Yes.
thing. So
Yes.
so tell me about how you feel, because you, like I said, even every aspect of the industry, it feels like you've kind of had your hand in. Either you've decided, yeah, this is my thing, I'm going to keep doing it, or okay, I did that, now I'm going to move on.
Yes,
So-
I'm glad you mentioned about the actors. You work with actors, by taking the headshot, and casting, and everything. But from me, I come from a different angle. When I'm working with actors, the most important to me is for the actor to be productive on the set. Productive by knowing your lines, by being respectful to others, by being on time, and by being a good team player, because that's the thing. You see a lot of directors, even for myself, if you watch most of my movies, you would see many of those actors over and over and over again. Sometimes I have a project, I don't really need to do audition for some special role. I already have in mind, oh, I'm going to call this person. So I work with the same actors over and over again, because as a director, you want to be comfortable, working with people who are supportive to what you're doing, who understand the process, how it goes, how many hours you have to spend on the set, not somebody to be like, oh, I gotta go,
Right.
something like that. People who truly understand, to work on their craft, to learn, everything artistically, to give you the best so you can do your magic with editing and bring it alive. So that's very important to me.
So I tell people to me, I would assume one of the biggest things is just be a decent person.
That's the
Because,
best way to put it.
when you're on set with somebody for 12 hours and, the actor's having to wait and they don't understand all the technical stuff that's going on. And then it's like, okay, we're finally ready for the actor. You want that actor to be ready and bring their A game and be ready to go.
Yes.
Right then, because you've already like put out like 500 million fires in between and you're like, just do your job.
Yes, exactly.
your job.
I mean, the actors on the set, the more experience they have, the more they understand it.
Yeah.
It's sad sometimes you see somebody with lots of talent, but they don't understand what it takes to really get involved in a movie project.
Right.
So that's why, I mean, from my experiences, I learned to be very careful with the lead actors, especially. To cast them. I mean, I learned that a lot, because psychologically you need their support. They need to be excited about the film. They need to be like, with you, and then try to, do their best to do whatever is necessary to make the project a great project. So.
Right. That's awesome. So tell us about this new project that you've got
Assassin
going on.
Behind the Glass. Well, that's a special story. I mean, like I said before, most of my stories came from true stories or inspired by true events. Assassin Behind the Glass, our business has a post office in one of those post office box where we go and check it all the time in a town in Boston called Dorchester. And then once, a few times I get there and I saw a young black man got shot right in front of that post office. So, and then later on, the government ended up building, a bulletproof wall glass inside the post office to protect the workers. So which raised the question now, so what about the street violence? What about the people on the street? I mean, how are we going to protect them? So I felt like there were no plan like this, but anyway, as an artist, I got inspired, so I wrote the story. Assassin Behind the Glass. It's more about, snitching. So if you witness a murder, what you're gonna do about it? Would you tell the authorities, or would you,
Right.
keep it to yourself? It raises a big question about that, and also to talk about, movies that happen in our own hood. Because whenever people hear Boston movies, they think about the mafias, the North End, the South End, all the problem, violence that we had going on. But there were more than that, going on. And, I mean, I love, living there and being very, successful, and have a lot of friends there. And, the story came my way, and I expressed it that way, and a lot of people get connected with Assassin Behind the Glass.
That's really cool. And how can people watch that? When is that going to be available
Well,
for us to
Assassin
see?
Behind the Glass is just become available
Right.
right now online, on demand, on many platforms.
Okay.
So people should be able to find it
find
as
it.
well. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So what else? What else do you want to tell us about? Your experience as being a filmmaker. I mean, there's so many things that I'm sure you've had so many fun things, tragic things. What other stories can you tell us about it?
Well, filmmaking, being a writer, director, producer, can
Editor.
be very challenging. Yes. It can be very challenging, but I think, the more you get to express, to tell your own stories, the more important it is. I usually, try to work with, some big distribution companies, but the override, like the way they try to put pressure on you to do whatever they want, not what you want, is something that I can always, I can never get, used to, because I really like to express myself the way I want to express myself. That's why I feel like most of my stories, most of my movies, they don't really have a time, line, that kind of, limit them. They're still alive now, like my first feature film, which was about a real problem that we have in Haiti, and Deportation, even I made a movie, actually, Anatomy of a Saga, which was about, mass killing, mass shooting, somebody going into an office after they get fired, and then, create a disaster 10 years ago. And look how bad it get, since. And we had no idea,
Right.
It would be this
Right.
way today.
Exactly.
So many mass shooting. And, it's like when you make stories like that, it's just like, it says something. It's a statement as a filmmaker, as an artist first, how you see society and what your hopes are. Because it doesn't matter, whenever you make a movie, it is a message that we can do better than that in our society. What can we do to improve it? Even though it has a taste of entertainment in it, you're entertaining people. But at the same time, they are
Making them think.
Yeah, to make them think while you entertain them, and and give hope as well, because it doesn't matter what you do, you give hope, in a way. And I also have a new movie, Impression, which I made with a lot of Haitian actors in Boston recently. I really wanted to do something like that, in my own language, with my own folks, people that knows the culture very well. And I'm very excited about this movie as well, Impression, which is available right now, online, so people can check it out. It's a great movie in Haitian Creole, but it's the movie had a theatrical release when it was playing at the Showcase Cinema. And we have so many foreigners who came to see the film and were so pleased with the story, because it's a general story, where so many people can feel connected or related to it, So, I mean, that's one thing that I feel that I love about being a filmmaker, you get to express yourself. And my latest documentary with Noam Chomsky, that is available as well. It's internationalism or extinction, which is a statement about the direction the world is going today. What are we doing in this planet to save this planet, all this gives me a lot of satisfaction as a filmmaker. I feel, really fulfill my mission. I still have a long way to go. Actually, next week, as I was telling you earlier, before we started the interview, we're going to shoot something for a new movie project, Animated Conspiracy, which is an action film that's going to have a lot of action, and this guy here gonna be in it. I know the audience
The audience
cannot
can't
see him.
Can't see. We've got
But
somebody
anyway.
hidden.
But we do have some things cooking in terms of future projects.
Yeah.
You know, and thanks, Mike, for all your help. I want to say that for everybody to hear. Mike McGinty, you know, for helping me out, all, you know, for everything that I have to do here in Hollywood. So that's good. And, you know, I'm looking forward to working on my next project and keep, you know, doing my best to entertain and educate and do whatever is necessary, you know, in the film industry.
I think that's a fun thing right now because we don't, we're not in the film industry, we're in the media industry, you know, and we have, it's so open, you
Yes.
know, if you don't want to be under the confines of, you know, this, then make your own project, you know, and,
That's right.
and make it successful and make it big and, you know, have a world premiere at the Chinese theater.
I know.
You know,
That is true. That is true.
That's,
in
know,
the world we live in today, you know, when I
Exactly.
started making movies, we didn't have no social
Yeah.
media, no online thing, you know, everything was grassroots
and it wasn't
marketing.
digital.
No. So now.
You and I understand the whole film. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's different.
My first feature film in the
Yeah.
US, Deportation, we shot it on Super 16 millimeter. So, you know, to shoot on film and load the camera and oh my goodness,
Yeah.
it's a different world.
And you don't know if you're doing it right until you're all finished.
Yes, until you process the film. When you process the film, you know you get the film process developed and you
Yeah.
don't know what you have
Yeah.
until you do the digital transfer
Right.
from film to video, I
Yeah.
mean to digital,
Yeah.
so you can do the editing, you know,
Yeah.
at that time because we didn't cut the film. But anyway, it is amazing to see the world that you're right. With the technology today,
It's-
the opportunity, if you want to tell your stories, the opportunity is out there. It's now. You know, you
Exactly.
can go online and do your own marketing and reach as many people as possible.
You know, even though the opportunity's out there, you still need to get experience. You still need to have a mentor. You still need to work. You still need to put in the time.
Yes, I
You know,
agree
I
with
think
that.
I think, you know, when you and I were starting out, you know, you it wasn't like now. Like now, for me, anybody that has a camera is a photographer, and I'm sure
Yes.
anybody that has a cell phone is a filmmaker. You
Yeah.
know, but if you want to be successful at it, then you need to still learn.
Yes.
There's certain principles, there's certain things you need to know, and there's especially on set, you know, there's experiences that happen, like you were saying. There's great actors that have great talent, but they don't understand how to be an actor in a project.
Yes.
And how to work on set and how to work with the director, and you know, so those are all things that, you know, put in the time to learn.
Yes.
And then you clearly, what a
I
great
think-
success
I
story.
think people have to really try their best to be professional, to understand how important it is to be professional.
Yeah.
Because I had somebody contacted me from here, from Hollywood, who wants to make a film, and you know, this person managed to get millions of dollars in his, you know, budget to make the film. And then I said, well, you have no experience. You never worked on a film before. I would be more than happy with my experience
To help.
to help you make a film. Would you please send me a headshot? So this person sent me a headshot. I can't even see this person's face. I'm like, whoa. I had to go back to that person and says, if you want people to take you seriously, you need to have a headshot where people can see what you look like. Not a little, you know, cell phone picture. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
have to understand it is important to be professional. It doesn't matter how much money you have, but the artistic expression will always prevail.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what you shoot on these days.
No.
Really.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it's the subject and the artistic, you know, quality of what you're presenting to the world that's going to make an impact, and then that will make people, you know, start following you and supporting your work. But one thing that I would like to mention about the filmmaking industry in general, I think the time now is very, you know, important for people to make sure that they master whatever they are doing, because there's
Exactly.
a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of competition out there. The more you give it your best, the better you will get at it. And you have to be open to listen to people who have the experience and who are looking forward to, you know, remain in the business and be successful in the business as well. Because a lot of actors, a lot of, you know, filmmakers, they don't understand how important it is to stay focused to what they want. because there can be a lot of distraction too. That's another thing. Because for me as a filmmaker, I have people who come and ask me to go and teach classes here and there. I mean, at some point in your career, maybe you need it, but I felt like sometimes if I go and do it, then it will kind of derail me. You know, it will take me on a different direction or where I don't want to go. I would just want to make films and make an impact. So I think the time now with all the social media, which when I started didn't exist, you know,
Right.
I'm still struggling to keep my head above. And also I had the privilege to work for the Boston International Film Festival. I'm the executive director of the Boston International Film Festival, and film festivals are very important for filmmakers to market themselves, submit your movies, and make sure you go to the cities where your film is getting selected, and then get to make connection with the audience and use the social media to promote yourself, because every single person that would like what you do can help you reach many more people.
Exactly.
So that's very important today, with Instagram, with Facebook, with Twitter, even YouTube, any YouTube channels. That's very important. Social media is very important. So, but for me as a writer, as a filmmaker, I'm always looking for true stories, though. That's how I connect with people.
So most of your films are really based on true stories, true life, events.
Yes,
And that's
most
kind of where
them.
your passion is almost to tell history, almost to bring a light on. I think. Okay, I grew up in Kansas. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. The town I grew up in had 900 people in it.
Wow.
There was 21 kids in my graduating class. And so, I saw the world right here, until I started traveling and moving and, getting out. And I think that's the amazing thing that film can do is it can open our eyes.
Definitely.
And it can show us real things that we didn't know, because when I was here, I only knew what happened here. I didn't know that something else was going on over here. And so when you're telling stories, it opens up the way you think and the way you can see your world, even if you happen to live out in the middle of nowhere or whatever, you know what I mean? It opens that up, and it makes the world, more alive to you. And I think that's cool that your stories are all, real and still relevant. Like everything you've done is still really relevant.
Yeah, most
in our
of the
world.
movies that I have done
Yeah.
really, they stay, real in so many people's eyes. Even if you had never seen Deportation, we made since 2000. It's like 19 years ago.
Yeah.
You would hear the title today, you would be like, "Whoa,
Wow.
Deportation!"
Yeah.
This subject. But I happen to make movies as well about subject that I didn't really, I wasn't really planning to do. Like I have a movie called Open Vacancy, which is kind of a slasher, like horror film. And it was a bunch of actors in Boston who come to me and says, "Let's work, I supposed to teach a class that summer." And I said no to that college. I said, I can't go. I want to stay focused in filming. And then one of the actors says, "Why don't we make a movie? And then in the process, you can teach us how to make a film." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like a very good idea. Let's do it."
Yeah.
So we started the process, and then I wrote the script in like 3 days, and everybody get excited, and we go to Orange, Massachusetts to film Open Vacancy. And it was an amazing experience as we were going through it. And then I met some actors, in the Hollywood circle. I said, "You know what? Let me reach out to Larry Holden," which I had just met at that time. He was in Batman Begin. They just had the world premiere of Batman Begin, trying to get him into the movie. So I get in touch with him. He says, "Patrick, if it's you calling me, I'm going to do the film." So he got very excited. But he wasn't feeling well. He was dying with cancer at that time. So, but we managed to have him come on the set. We shot the film. And it's amazing how this movie came out, It's one thing about those actors. I always give credit to those actors that were so focused to do something that summer. And that something become a big movie. you know, and it ended up. Open Vacancy. So we played it at the Boston International Film Festival, and we had to play it 3 times, and with packed houses, and now a lot of people are watching it online. So it's one of those amazing things when you stay focused, you keep pushing things into towards the right direction. Then it just opened doors for you. So that wasn't, that slasher story wasn't, based on a true story.
Right.
But the true story is from behind the scene, of course, on how all the actors get together, get me involved, and then we get excited, we go to the woods, and then shoot that movie, And that one of the amazing, experience that I have. Whenever I look back, we made the movie, about 11 years ago, but still, it just remained, take a special place, in my heart.
I know for me, I do headshots all day long. And I love what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do, but sometimes it becomes work, And so when I get to that point, then I have to go out and just do something fun. And use my tools and my talent, but go out and do something that's, whatever. Who knows what it may be. Somebody asked me to do something that I would never normally do. Yeah. And that's kind of like this is what you're known for, but every once in a while you gotta go make that. You just gotta go out and play.
Yes, definitely. Yes, you have to do that to keep your balance.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah. Because I think the more passionate you are about what you do, the more it comes out. So you got to keep alive and have fun. And
true. Yeah. So that's what it is. The more passionate you have about it, it's like a magnet. You don't really need to do things. It's like it's pulling you into the direction of, producing. You have to create. You have to express yourself. You are an artist, you know. It doesn't matter. Of course, you have lots of ups and downs, man. A lot of people, most of people that I know when I started in filmmaking, when I started back here in the United States, gave up. They no longer work in the film industry, because it's so tough and competitive. But there are ways to keep your head above water, if you stay focused and try to do the right projects, and then, try to express yourself, be an artist. Stories come around you, don't pay too much attention about what people is going to say. Like when we did that movie, Anatomy of a Saga, about the mass shooting. Something had just happened in Massachusetts that got me inspired. I wrote the story. No idea, like I said, it would become the way it is today.
Right.
So it has its place in society, and that's what we do as artists. We express ourselves. Yes.
Well, this has been fun. Thank you so much for coming on
Peggy,
and hanging out with me.
thank you so much for having me. I keep watching, your interviews, and I'm saying, damn, I'd like to be featured, and you give me the opportunity. I'm really happy about this.
I'm glad, you reached out to me months ago, and you're like, next time I'm in LA, and I was like, oh, this guy's never gonna call me back. You're like, hey, Peggy, let's do this. I was like, yay.
Yeah.
So, but you didn't invite me to your premiere. I just throw that out there. I didn't get invited to the premiere, but he's here, so.
Yes, I'm here. Actually, that was before we connected. We had already had the premiere.
Right.
Yeah, I would have invited you. For you to cover the red carpet, all the Chinese theater, fancy setting. Yeah. Oh, it would be my pleasure. But I guarantee you, for our next movie, we are shooting here in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So for our next movie, you will be top on the list to invite to be there, as media representative. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This was great.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to leave all of his information in the description below. Make sure you follow him on social media. Check out all of his movies on Amazon Prime. Most of them are on Amazon Prime.
Yes, we have on Google Plus, Fandango, Apple TV, iTunes, which become Apple TV now.
Right.
Easy to find.
Easy to find. So I'm going to have all of his links below. Make sure you check this out.
But the easiest connection is IMDb, because they
have everything.
Amazon bought IMDb, so it's easier to say Amazon, because once you go on IMDb, the link is right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, and most importantly, have an amazing week. We'll see you next week.
Have a good week.
Well, we did it.
About that time, I'm gonna go. watching and he's listening. When he comes for me, where you gonna be?